Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
The search for a missing mother of 4 from Almost Park has moved to a new location, and it's in the city of Boerne.
Yeah, Suzanne Simpson was last seen Sunday night near her home in Almost Park. Her husband, Brad, in jail on charges of assault, family violence, and unlawful restraint. Today, Texas Rangers searching a field in Boerne next to a shopping center off of I-10 and South Main. Crews were at that location from 8 in the morning until about 3:30 this afternoon. A ranger on the scene telling KSAT at the peak of the search efforts, there were 25 to 30 people and that ATVs and dogs were used throughout the day.
When we asked if anything significant was found, why they were searching the field in Boerne, and also if they would return to that field again, the Rangers simply said no comment. But we do know that Brad Simpson was arrested about a mile away from that very field.
And we also have some new information we just uncovered. We have learned that federal investigators could be eyeing Brad Simpson. Bexar County Central Records confirms the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the U.S. Marshals have placed a hold on Simpson, meaning if he posts bond on the county charges, he could then be taken into custody by federal authorities. ATF investigates federal crimes, including the unlawful use or theft of firearms. KSAT could find no pending federal charges against Brad Simpson. He remains in custody at the Bexar County Jail on bonds totaling $2 million. A bond hearing, by the way, has been scheduled for him on Tuesday morning. As efforts continue to try to find her, if you have any information about where Suzanne Simpson may be, you can reach out to Almost Park investigators at any of the numbers listed here. And of course, for the very latest updates and a timeline of how this investigation has unfolded, scan the QR code. It will take you to our complete coverage that you can find on KSAT.com.
So while we're still learning about this situation, some of the things that witnesses told police have really led to a wider conversation about domestic violence. It's also something that we've discussed for years in our newsroom.
Yeah, and we know it can seem difficult as an outsider to intervene. So as part of Courtney Friedman's series, Loving in Fear, she spoke to an expert about how to report domestic violence and what to say to victims who are struggling.
The community is our large family.
Family Violence Prevention Services CEO Marta Prado Pelaez says we should think that way when it comes to domestic violence. San Antonio knows the issue too well. Nationally, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience intimate partner physical violence at some point in their life. Here in Bexar County, it's 1 in 3 women. Pelaez says violence is too normalized in our society.
You may see someone slapping somebody else in the street and sometimes in cars. You're going through and you see this big thing going on. Domestic violence is normalized. And it's paralyzing, especially to the victim, it's paralyzing. So call the police. Call the police. Police may come quickly in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes, may not come at all, but you have done your share.
The more convoluted piece is non-physical violence, which is coercive behaviors.
The screaming, the yelling, the name calling, the you're an idiot, you can't do this, you can't do that, you cannot go here, you cannot go there, who did you call, let me take a look at you. All of those controlling behaviors.
Intervention may look different.
I've done it myself several times. I just go up to the person and say, you don't have to endure disrespect. There are resources out there. There are people who can help you.
There is one big question to avoid in this conversation.
Don't ask her to leave. Why haven't you left? It's not the thing to ask a victim of domestic violence, because I can assure you, she has thought of it many, many more times than you can ever imagine.
Instead, keep the language supportive.
I'm here for you. Please reach out. I will help you. I support you. I'm with you. Give her a hug. Help her think of a safety plan.
And remember, it could be the 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th time you show support that the survivor finally takes it. So be patient, stay supportive, and be brushed up on resources. It might save a life. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Such valuable information there. And if you see something, call 911. By the way, a reminder, if you know anyone who needs help getting in touch with domestic violence resources, scan the QR code, head to our website at ksat.com/domestic violence.
You'll find a ton of resources there, a list of helpful organizations, also information on how to recognize the signs of domestic violence, and also answers to questions that you may have about domestic violence.
It's a case we've been following, and today a jury was supposed to decide punishment for Jesus San Miguel for killing Joshua Kinnaman. But the punishment phase ended in a mistrial. Jurors could not decide how long to sentence him, which could have been from anywhere from probation up to 10 years in prison. San Miguel was initially on trial for murder for fatally stabbing Kinnaman during a fight over some comments he made to San Miguel's girlfriend during a lunch break last year, right across the street from John Jay High School. The jury found him not guilty of murder, but did convict him of criminally negligent homicide. Punishment will now have to wait for attorneys on both sides to seat another jury. That jury will then be asked to hand down San Miguel's punishment. Right now, jury selection slated to happen on December 17th.
Now 50 years in prison. That is the sentence that a man got after being convicted of shooting and killing his girlfriend last year outside of a Valero. Maybe you remember the case, so we'll show you the suspect here. Giovanni Pascal took a plea deal. The shooting happened at the Valero off of West Hildebrand Avenue. And according to an arrest affidavit, surveillance footage showed the victim, Deanna Mason, get out of the car and then Pascal following her and shooting her in the back of the head. Today, Mason's family had a message for Pascal right after he was sentenced.
You're a manipulative, evil, monstrous person. Deanna didn't deserve to be taken away from us the way she was. Only a coward does this, especially with a woman with her back turned. She never saw it coming.
Through his attorney, Pascal did offer an apology to the family, and he's going to be eligible for parole after he serves half of his sentence, which is 25 years.
Shut up!
Beeped words at a school board meeting. New at 6 tempers flared during a Judson ISD board meeting. It happened Wednesday during a discussion about the district's proposed academic goals. Board member Monica Ryan speaking when fellow board member Deborah Eaton interrupted. That's when Eaton cursed at Ryan. After the outburst, Easton wiped her face and took a quick break. Ryan tells KSAT investigates she didn't know what caused that outburst. She says those actions need to be addressed by the board. KSAT investigates reached out to Eaton and the school board president. We're still waiting to hear back from them.
Some big names from San Antonio's business community were writing big checks to push 6 proposed changes to the city charter. Local PAG Renew SA submitted its first campaign finance report today, and the report only captured 22 donations over 3 weeks. But
that was still enough to raise nearly $125,000. Garrett Berger tells us who's throwing in and what they're hoping to convince you of. Garrett joins us live in the studio. Garrett.
Well, Mayor Ron Nirenberg put together a charter review committee last year. It came up with 6 amendments, which are now on the November 5th ballot. They include raising council members' pay, extending their terms, and allowing city staffers to participate in local campaigns on their own time. Renew SA is in favor of all 6, but when announcing its campaign, it singled out one change in particular, Proposition C. That would remove the voter-approved caps on the city manager's salary and tenure. Caps that will force out current city manager Eric Walsh in early 2027, and which critics say will make it harder to find a quality replacement. The business community has been ready to scrap those caps since they were passed in 2018. So it's no surprise we're seeing the kind of support from where we're seeing it. Now take a look at some of these numbers. Frost Bank kicked in $50,000 to the campaign, and one of the campaign's tri-chairs, Morgan's Wonderland founder Gordon Hartman, donated $25,000. Other big spenders have been the San Antonio Apartment Association and a law firm specializing in government collections, and the former head of Frost Bank. Other donors include the developer of the Pearl, the head of the Brooks Development Authority, and the heads of both the North San Antonio and U.S. Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. The campaign's director says they've gotten a lot more donations since this reporting period closed 2 weeks ago, and they plan to spend over $1 million in this election. On the other side of things, the San Antonio's fire union helped put these caps in place 6 years ago. It has said it will campaign against Proposition C, trying to keep the caps in place. And as of last count, the union's PAC has more than $900,000 to throw around. Live in the studio, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12. Steve, Stephanie.
Thank you, Garrett. All right, let's go live outside on this Friday. I want to show you a little bit of a traffic trouble spot. This is I-10 at Hackberry. It looks like there's some sort of a vehicle that maybe is stalled out off to the left side. It means it's only down to 2 lanes. Again, this is I-10 at Hackberry. Not a major traffic tie-up, but 1 lane blocked there. And you see actually the Hero truck directing traffic around this accident spot.
Yeah, it looks like only 1 lane right there available for drivers. Okay, we want to stay outside now and talk about the rest of your weekend and what's on tap for us. 90 degrees out there right now. And Adam, you've been talking about cooler mornings, but set us up for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, the rest of the weekend, really just expect more of the same, but there will be some improvements in temperatures as we get into the middle of next week. 92, that was our high temperature today. That's 8 degrees above average. Hondo and Uvalde made it to 91, Pleasanton 92, near 90 up in the hill country. Very similar through the weekend. Wall-to-wall sunshine, south wind 10 miles per hour, mornings in the low to mid 60s, afternoons right around 93 degrees. But notice next week, we'll see temperatures trimmed back a little bit, back into the upper 80s by Wednesday and mid 80s by Thursday and Friday. So getting a little closer to that average high temperature, which is 84 for this time of year. But keep in mind, this time of year, it does slowly and gradually fall off. We'll talk about some slightly cooler mornings and a comet visible every evening through next Friday. See you in a bit.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Still ahead on KSAT 12's News at 6. After surviving 2 massive storms, those living along the southeast coastline now have the daunting task of putting the pieces back together. What federal officials are telling them to do in order to get some much needed relief.
And as we go to break, we give you a nice live look here from our live cam. 90 degrees out there right now. Our Adam Caskey is going to help prepare you for the rest of the weekend and also the beginning of next week when we come back after the break.
A family heartbroken tonight, 1 week after their son's funeral. He died in a bad crash here off 35. Coming up, his story and how this all happened.
In Florida and across much of the southeast, the storms have passed. The recovery just beginning, though. For so many, it's difficult to distinguish where the damage of Hurricane Helene begins versus the devastation from Hurricane Milton.
It's one thing on top of another, but luckily hard-hit areas are getting help. CNN's Maribel Gonzalez breaks down how survivors are now trying to access relief.
Double destruction in the Sunshine State.
I think the complicating factor here is going to be there's 2 storms.
Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a deadly Category 4 hurricane, carving a 500-mile path of destruction across 6 states. Then Milton hit as a Category 3 storm, bringing tornadoes, torrential rain, and storm surge.
And having 2 major hurricanes in less than 3 weeks has really decimated our downtown area.
In Valrico, Hillsborough County deputies are still evacuating people from flooded homes.
We're at 6 feet deep. We have some people who believe that it might get as high as 20 feet.
In Pinellas County, hundreds remain in shelters, some who've been there for weeks.
We have over 170 people that have actually been in shelters with us since Hurricane Helene.
The rescues and relief pouring in.
Our available force represents the largest National Guard response in Florida.
We have an additional $50 million on top of what we did for Hurricane Helene.
FEMA says people will need to apply for separate hurricane relief for each storm.
We're just going to have to continue to work with each person as they're working through understanding what they experienced from Helene, what they experienced from Milton, so they can get everything that they're eligible for.
While victims assess the damage left behind, moments of hope and resilience begin to emerge.
We had a beautiful baby girl that was born in one of our shelters. Our shelter staff helped with the delivery.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Wow. Back here at home. Wow. Every time I see those pictures, I just can't help but think how grateful that we are here that we're not dealing with any of that. But a lot of us have family members and friends in Florida that we're praying for. And we were talking about blood donations. That's one way that you can help people from here who are in Florida suffering because of the hurricane.
Always a good idea to give blood because it can be used here and so many different places. All right, Adam, I know you're talking about the comet. You're very excited about this. I mean, it's not a sun burp or anything, but it's still pretty cool.
The solar burp, that was fun yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun.
Geomagnetic storm, which I'm going to talk a little bit about here in just a moment. But I want to get to the comet that's first visible this evening, actually, in about a little over an hour from now. The comet, it's going to be very low in the sky this evening, but by next week, the visibility will be much better because it's going to be higher in the sky. See those dates in the center part of your screen? That's an illustration of roughly where that comet's going to be above the horizon. But bottom line is 40 minutes after sunset, which tonight is 7:07 p.m., just above the horizon to the right of planet Venus, which looks like a really bright star, it can be seen with the unaided eye. But binoculars do help, so have them handy. I'm personally going to wait until we get into the late weekend, early next week, when it's a little bit higher in the sky. Again, that's looking off to the west, and it's only for a short period of time, just in the evening hours or around dusk. So about 40 minutes after sunset, and you have to look off to the west. Get into a very open area. That's the best way to do it, too, where you have a big, wide, long field of view. Now, yesterday, because of the geomagnetic storm caused by the solar burp, the coronal mass ejection, and the ionized particles, big blasts of plasma headed toward Earth, and it created the aurora visible outside of the city lights. So this is from Gonzales, especially with the sensitive equipment in our cameras. You can see it even when the naked eye can't. And so this was last night. Tonight, I don't think we're going to be quite as fortunate. This is because the planetary K index, which measures disruptions in the Earth's magnetic field, notice how that has dropped off quite a bit. This is right now. This was last night in the red. Clearly, we had big disruptions in the magnetic field from that geomagnetic storm. But recently, we've seen these measurements drop significantly, so I'm not anticipating as good of a show. Last night was a G4 out of G5 for the magnetic storm, and now it's been downgraded to about a G3 overnight. Still, hey, go out with your camera. Maybe it'll pick it up if you're outside the city lights pointed northward. Temperatures, improvements on the way, just subtle changes. Rain, unfortunately, remains elusive. We have a 10% chance next week. That's it. And I mentioned that comet visible every evening all the way through next Friday. Notice those morning temperatures a little bit closer to 60 by next Wednesday. Here's the situation. We have an upper level high off to the west. That's going to be dominating us over the weekend, but there will be a big trough digging in the eastern part of the country early next week. That's going to bring a cold front with it, and there's a chance we could get a glancing blow from that cold front. If we do, temperatures would be a little bit cooler than we're predicting right now. But 64 in the morning, 84 at noon, 93 the high temperature, south wind tomorrow at 10. A carbon copy, basically. Wall-to-wall sunshine. Sunday will be identical. That's 92 in Bulverde, 93 in Hondo, Bandera, maybe 95. New Braunfels, 94, and Floresville, 94 degrees. As we get into next week, we actually have a few clouds in the forecast for a change.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday, right? And that's when I also have a 10% chance of a few showers. So unfortunately, not much hope, but some signs of change, subtle signs.
Okay. Thank you, Adam.
All right, we're talking high school football right now. And what would a Friday night be without a very nice road trip? Mary.
Always excited for the road trip to get out and see some of the teams on the outskirts of San Antonio, but that doesn't mean they're not some quality teams. 3 ranked teams in 12's top 12 in our road trip this week. Our Nick Mantis stops by Marion as they prepare for number 4 Randolph. Plus, we hear from veteran Harrison Barnes after the Spurs morning practice when we come back.
All the attention is going to be on Vic and Chris Paul, definitely in the pick and roll. So if I can catch a shoot, cut, get an open shot, that'd be huge.
Blake Wesley going on year 3 with the Spurs, ready to play his role in big board sports. We are on to our 7th week of the big game coverage road trip. The first stop will be off 78 in Marion. The Bulldogs are hosting Randolph after starting off district play with a win last week against Luling. With a 2-4 record, there's been some learning curves to start the year. Our Nick Mantis went to practice earlier this week and has more on how, even with 4 losses, the Bulldogs are right on schedule.
So far, there's been lots of hills and valleys, but hopes are definitely still high. I think this is a great team that can produce good things with big numbers. It's taken a while for that to be shown, but we're finally starting to sprout for sure.
So things didn't start the way this Marion team wanted to in the beginning of the season. And all they had to do to get back on track was remember a meeting they had back in January.
Well, we had a team meeting on January 8th, and I talked about this with our team going into the district, and we set up a bunch. We had 6 goals, and the first goal was make the playoffs, and the second goal was win district championship, and so on. And, all the way through, play on Thanksgiving, play over Christmas break, all this stuff. So every goal we've set out, it's there. And right now we're hitting 100%, and we want to make sure we're going 1-0 every week.
I think the mood's definitely great. I think it's been like that all season because we know what we're capable of doing, and it's something that's very special. We have a great game plan and that the coaches put in this week, and I think it's up to us players to go out and execute it, keep the momentum going, and go get a big win this week.
When you play a team like Randolph, you're going to get a lot of discipline from it. So we want to make sure that, like you said, we got to win the penalty battle for sure. We got to make sure that we're getting lined up right on defense. Offense, we got to be assignment sound. We've got to win the line of scrimmage, and that's kind of our alignment. And I'm a lineman at heart, so we're going to put some pressure on those guys that we've got to win the line of scrimmage and really kind of win the upfront battle.
Win or loss, we can always improve. I think we just ride the momentum. Hopefully, go undefeated the rest of the season, get a good district title, and make a run in the playoffs.
In Marion, Nick Mantis, KSAT 12 Sports.
2 good on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Man, can't beat a sunrise like that at practice. Thank you, Nick. Here's a look at our BGC road trip route. Number 4, Randolph at Marion. Number 2, Piper at Seguin. And Bernie Champion visiting number 6, New Braunfels. As for our game of the week, it'll be a bout between 2 6-0 teams, Alamo Heights and Victoria West. The action goes down at 7 o'clock at Orem Stadium. We'll have the highlights and post-game on the Night Beat. Gearing up for year 2 in the NBA, Victor Wembanyama has already redefined players' roles on the court, specifically the roles of players around him, as he draws so much attention defensively. And that's where Harrison Barnes comes in, boasting the second most experience on the team behind Chris Paul. Barnes knows how to be effective and efficient as a role player.
I think the unique thing is that Victor's going to be handling a lot in pick and roll as well. So I think you don't see a lot of times a guy that can shoot it as well as he can off the bounce, but playing in pick and roll. So I think just in general, maybe sometimes, you're, quote unquote, being a shooter, spotting up, but Victor's handling, maybe it's cutting, maybe it's, finding different ways to occupy. And I think that's just the good challenge that we have, is just figuring out how do you maximize a unique talent like him.
Would be cool to see all of them on the court tomorrow in their next preseason game. We'll see.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you. So we want you to stick around because coming up next, it's almost that time of year again. We're talking about signing up for health insurance, right? Open enrollment. We're breaking down all of the terms that can really get thrown at you when it comes to picking a health insurance plan. We're going to tell you what they mean and the different types of plans that are being offered. That's after the break.
We all need it, but it's safe to say all of us don't understand it. And now we're in October, and a lot of us are getting those flyers talking about open enrollment about to begin. But health insurance, full of confusing terms and conditions.
At the end of the day, it all depends on your individual plan, what's in it. But in this KSAT Explains, our Myra Arthur is helping us by defining some of the most common insurance terms so that at least you're covered there.
Deductible, copay, HMO, PPO, it's a lot.
Understanding coverage, it's something else.
This is Anel Trevino.
I'm the Navigator Program Director
for the Health Collaborative.
The Bexar County Health Collaborative is a nonprofit focused on helping people meet critical needs. Everything from housing to health insurance and more.
Sometimes not just the consumer is a bit confused.
Anel has even seen healthcare providers get it wrong. The first insurance term we're defining, premium. It's how much you have to pay for insurance coverage. It's not a payment for any doctor's visits, procedures, or medications.
The premium is what they pay for the actual plan. The copay is what they're paying for the service or the medications.
A copay is a fixed amount your insurance plan says you must pay for a service your plan covers. It's not the total cost, it's just your portion. Your insurance pays the rest.
Well, now wait a minute. Didn't we just say that a copay divides up the cost between you and your insurance provider? Yes, we did. But copay is different. It's a fixed fee attached to usually routine services that your insurance company expects you to need. And typically, your copay does not count towards your deductible.
So, if you have a deductible of $1,000 and you pay a $20 copay to go see your doctor for a case of the flu, you'll still need to pay $1,000 to meet that deductible. Some expenses will likely count toward your deductible. It might be like x-rays for a sprained ankle, for example. Those things that aren't routine.
Some coverage plans have what's called coinsurance. It's kind of like a copay, but instead of being a fixed amount for services, it's a percentage of the total cost.
Every time you see a primary care physician, you're probably going to pay, let's say, $20. That's a set amount. But for imaging, for labs, for other types of care, you're going to see a coinsurance, and that's usually a percentage of the total cost.
You'll also hear the term out of pocket when it comes to insurance. That's anything you have to pay out of your own pocket. Copay and deductibles, two out-of-pocket expenses.
There's also something called an out-of-pocket maximum. It's the most you will have to pay of your own money, usually per year, for medical expenses before your insurance plan then covers the full cost.
So once they hit the maximum out-of-pocket, then they're done paying so long as they pay their monthly premium.
Your monthly premium does not count toward your out-of-pocket max. In fact, what does count usually all depends on your plan. Sometimes your copay is included in the max, sometimes it's not. Sometimes your deductible might be the same as the out-of-pocket max, but sometimes it's not.
Usually what can go into a maximum is going to be your medications, your visits to primary care physicians, to specialists, emergency visits.
Now let's talk insurance plan types. First up, a PPO. That stands for Preferred Provider Organization. Choosing this kind of plan means you don't need a referral from your primary care doctor to see a specialist. You'll usually pay less if you see a doctor who's in network and more if you see a physician who's out of network.
A provider who's in network is someone who your insurance company is contracted to work with. If they're out of network, they don't have that contract.
Another type of insurance plan is an HMO, or a health maintenance organization. If you have this kind of plan, only services from in-network providers are covered, except in an emergency. Plus this.
Before you go see a specialist, you're going to need to visit with your primary, and you're going to need a referral.
There's also an EPO. That stands for Exclusive Provider Organization. It's similar to a PPO, but in this type of plan, services are covered by your insurance if they're provided by in-network doctors only, except in an emergency.
Usually your HMOs are a little bit lower in price per month, but it's important to keep in mind that if you're going to see a specialist, then you know you're going to have to visit with that doctor. You're going to have that expense. So sometimes it's best for the consumer to consider the PPO or the EPO so that they're not spending that extra $20 visiting with the primary to get the referral.
To make medical bills a little easier to handle, you can plan ahead with what's called a health savings account, if your insurance plan offers one. You set money aside to put into your HSA to pay for certain health care costs, which could include your copay and deductible costs. An HSA is usually only available if you have a high deductible plan. And if you don't use that money within your coverage year, you can roll it over into the next year.
That's not the case with an FSA, or flexible spending account. FSAs are opened through an employer if they offer it, and it's use it or lose it, which means you have to use the money you put into an FSA within the year of your coverage plan, or it's gone. Both of these types of accounts usually allow you to set aside money before taxes.
Here are two terms that get sometimes confusing: Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid is a joint state and federal insurance plan that's run by individual states.
Medicaid, a lot of people just associate that with children.
In Texas, people can get Medicaid coverage if they make below a certain income amount per year. For example, a family of 4 must make less than $59,400 a year to qualify. Medicaid is for pregnant women, people caring for a child, people with a disability, or people 65 and older.
Medicare, on the other hand, is all about age.
Medicare is usually going to be for people who are 65 and above.
Some people under 65 with disabilities also qualify for Medicare, which is a federally run insurance plan. In the end, that's what everything with insurance depends on.
Your plan, what your plan covers or doesn't.
If you're unsure, just give us a call and we'll walk with you step by step and help you. Anybody can get help.
That was a really good breakdown. Yeah, so we hope that explains, comes in handy when you need it. You can always save the link or that QR code right there. Scan it. You can find that story on KSAT.com. You can also watch any of our explained stories on our KSAT YouTube page.
HMO, PPO, FSA, HSA, III.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Mothers who have lost their children to fentanyl poisoning have turned their pain into action. For Americans ages 18 to 45, the leading cause of death is actually fentanyl poisoning, and those mothers want to stop that.
Our Courtney Friedman sits down with one of those angel moms about the second annual fentanyl awareness walk that they know will save lives.
Braden was just the best spirited person ever. He loved his dog Noelle. His Mustang was his life. He wanted to be in the military like his grandfather.
Braden Williams was just 21 when he died in 2020 from fentanyl poisoning. His mom, Nikki Goles, said he had medical problems since birth and over time developed severe insomnia.
His meds weren't working and he thought he bought an Oxy from a friend, and unfortunately he never woke up.
It is her mission to teach families nationwide that fentanyl is now in every type of drug. Just 2 years ago, it was killing 200 Americans a day, and the numbers are rising.
Just a horrific loss, but trying to turn it into something good.
She met other moms who had lost their kids to fentanyl poisoning, now called Angel Moms. They created the first ever fentanyl awareness walk in Texas. Souls Walking for Souls pulling in big leaders, including the governor, state representatives, local leaders, and federal law enforcement agencies.
I think it solidifies the fact that they know that there is an issue, that it's not a red issue, it's not a blue issue.
Goles is now on the board planning this year's event, which is on Sunday. The subject, serious, but there will also be celebration of life and life-saving trainings on Narcan, which reverses the effects of fentanyl and other opioids.
Us Angel Moms, we carry it. I have a case over to my right. I've got 48 of them. Anybody, anytime can call or text and we'll bring it to you. Personally.
They speak at schools, businesses, churches, educating everyone they can.
We need all the help we can get to fight this.
And she does it every day for her Braden.
He loved life big.
And she will work tirelessly to make sure other kids will live long lives full of that big love and free of fentanyl.
That was Courtney Friedman reporting. Scan the QR code right now on your screen to get more information about how you can take part in the second annual Souls Walking for Souls. It's happening this Sunday at 4:30 at the Green Line on Sidney Brooks. That's at Brooks City Base.
Okay, so that's this Sunday afternoon. Let's get you ready for the rest of the weekend. A live look here from our live cam, 90 degrees right now. Adam Caskey, take it away.
Think back to last night, we had a glimpse of the aurora, especially with our sensitive camera equipment in our phones looking off to the north. Here's a great picture from Mike Jones in Comfort, and it's a good sight. I'm not as optimistic about tonight because you see how this is basically a measurement of the strength of the geomagnetic storm. Last night we were in the red, even early this morning, and now we've dropped off. We're in the green. That means the geomagnetic storm has weakened considerably, and we may be losing the solar burp that we got from the sun yesterday. But we are at the peak of an 11-year solar cycle, and I do anticipate more of these geomagnetic storms. Temperature, some improvements on the way, and we'll get to that in just a bit.
Welcome back. Around America, 23 people are free after a deadly accident trapped about half of them 1,000 feet underground for hours. The sheriff from Teller County, Colorado, says that two groups were in a tourist mine right near Colorado Springs yesterday. He says that 12 people were on an elevator system when it malfunctioned. One person in that group died. Rescuers were able to get them to the surface, but they also had to evacuate the same elevator before using it to then rescue the other group of tourists that were trapped down even farther down than the first group. No word, by the way, on how that one person died.
At sundown tonight, the Jewish holiday Yom Kippur begins. Known as the Day of Atonement, it is considered one of the most important and sacred of the religious holidays. During Yom Kippur, Jewish people reflect and atone for their sins from the past year, set intentions for the year ahead. Those observing the holiday do not eat or drink, fasting from sundown tonight to sundown tomorrow. The holiday concludes Saturday evening with the closing prayer and the blowing of a shofar. That's a ritual musical instrument carved from the horn of a ram.
Okay, and now we're going to send things back on over to our Adam Caskey to help us get ready for the weekend. And I know that you're excited also about something else. Look at that smile.
Yeah, we've got the comet that'll be visible. It's got a unique name because it was discovered simultaneously by two different groups, one in South Africa and one in China last year. And then they get credit and name it. Anyway, we have an article on KSAT.com, but let's take a look at the graph here. This will help you in terms of potentially spotting this comet with the unaided eye, but I do suggest binoculars, because once you spot where it is in the sky, binoculars will help you really see it. Now, this evening is the first potential viewing at about 7:47 p.m. You have to be in an open area, though. Those of you in the hill country that have a good view looking west, or even just outside the city lights, and you got a broad, big, wide area looking off to the west, you may see it. First, look for Venus. Planet Venus looks like a really bright star, the evening star, as it's often referred to. And then you take your left arm and 2.5 fist lengths to the right. That's about where the comet's going to be, very low in the horizon this evening, higher above the horizon late this weekend and into next week. So I think that's going to be better viewing. It's going to look like a very hazy star with a bit of a tail. And it's not going to be very clear tonight, but it will be slightly clearer or more visible into next week. Only seen for a little bit at dusk. That's it. It's basically a dirty ice chunk, dirty iceberg, if you will, that's rocketing through space, and the sun is melting it and evaporating it, and it leaves a tail, and that sun then illuminates it at the low angle sunlight. Anyway, afternoon highs. We're going to trim back a little bit next week. We'll go from the low to mid 90s this weekend and Monday down into the mid 80s by the middle of next week. Now, the first cooler afternoon, this is the average of the last 30 years. And what I mean by cooler is a high temperature below 80. The first average is September 12th. We haven't gotten there yet. And the latest in the past 30 years is October 24th. We may be rivaling that. Notice 92 today here in town, 90s throughout the state, and 80s northward. There's a weak cool front off in the northern tier of the U.S. That's not what we're focusing on. Some cooler Canadian air will dip southward, but affect mainly the eastern U.S. early and middle part of next week, but there's still a glimmer of hope that this front will give us a bit of a glancing blow. Should that be the case, then I do think the temperatures will be a little bit cooler than what we're forecasting now. Rain chances pretty slim, only 10% next Thursday and Friday. Unfortunately, I wish I had better news, but we just don't have that active pattern yet. 64 in the morning, 84 at noon, 93 the high, then we repeat it as we go into Sunday, basically just a carbon copy of what we'll have tomorrow, and then we trim back a bit into next week.
All right, thank you, Adam. We'll be right back.
My friends, the weekend's here, and there are a lot of things happening to keep yourself and your family entertained. HEB is hosting its 2024 Barbacoa and Big Red Festival on the city's east side. You can get your grill on at the Freeman Coliseum grounds with other food and drinks available. That goes from noon to midnight tomorrow and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Costs $20 a ticket, but kids 13 and under get in for free.
Still a few weeks before Halloween, but don't be surprised if you see crowds of people dressed as their favorite heroes and villains. Starting today is the Big Texas Comic-Con, and it's happening downtown all weekend. Big names of film, TV, streaming scheduled to make appearances to take photos, sign autographs. Actors like Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid, wax on.
Yes,
wax
yeah.
on. Elijah Wood and the cast of The Walking Dead are here today to Sunday at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. Plus, you can meet comic book creators, dress up like your favorite superhero, and take a chance to win a costume contest. Tickets are available on their website, bigtexascomiccon.com. Have a great night and a great weekend.